Guys, welcome to my first makeup tutorial, baby face Tash. Step one, let's dive straight on in. We're doing an everyday makeup look and then we are going to take the eye into a nighttime look. Clean skin, step 101. I'm going to use my Bohemian Skin Purifying Toner. Just make sure that my skin is nice and clean. Step 2. So the first product today, I spoke a little bit about on my Instagram the other day. It is the YSL and it is the Blur Primer. They come in 2 colors. My skin is a bit more of a warmer tone, so I've opted for the gold, but they've just brought out the silver one, which is for cooler tones. So it's going to pump the product into our hand. Apply it on the face. My hands are clean. You might prefer to do this with a brush. If you're going to do it with a brush, I recommend using a stippling brush, a kabuki. Don't be afraid to use your hands for products. I don't really like using it for foundation and stuff because it makes such a mess, but some foundations react differently to different things. So the heat that's in our hands can be really great for warming the foundation on our face and spreading it better. That said, I'm going to show you one of my tricks today, which involves using... Okay, now for foundation, I use NARS. I actually have all 3 NARS bottles here at the moment. This one is the Sheer Glow foundation. This is when I'm really pale, which I kind of am now, but it's just really lightweight. So not much coverage. This is the new one that NARS has brought out that I will be using today. It's called All Day Luminous Weightless Foundation. This is the color Syracuse. So it's a little bit darker. It's just like a medium coverage. You can add a second layer on to make it a thicker coverage. Or you can go for the Longwear Foundation by NARS. This is obviously when I am very tanned. And the color of that is Carter's. It is. Anyway, so the way I apply foundation is a 2-step process. First one is, and normally I get the pump. I forgot to order the pump. So put a little bit of makeup on your face and we're going to start blending. Remember guys, you can always add makeup. You cannot really take it away. So let's just start blending. As you can see, this is a little bit darker than my skin color, but that is because my body is quite tanned. I wear a lot of SPF on my face for anti-aging. Okay, now I know what you're thinking, Natasha, your face is totally orange right now, but it's okay. I have a solution and we are going to get there. So this color is a little bit more darker, but not too much, and it's a really good tone for my skin. And by the time I add powders and things onto it, it gets a little bit better. So step 2 with my foundation, I've pre-wet my beauty blender. So it's just really lightly damp, if you can. So all I'm going to do is pat. Guys, this is not going to be good for every foundation. I'm just going to give you a heads up. I like it. I think it gives you more of a photo finish because it really just pats down the product into your face. It works really well. I really liked the finish of this with the Too Faced foundation. I found that really great. But there is other foundations. Obviously, you wouldn't use this with a powder. But it just sets it a little bit better, I think, because brush strokes obviously go against it and we have pores, and this I think kind of just makes it look like you have smaller pores. It is going to give you a slightly lighter finish, so just be prepared for that. You can still see my freckles. I like that. Okay, now that we have finished our foundation, I'm pretty happy with that. I really don't want too much of a intense coverage. I used to wear a lot of makeup. I'm trying to wear less. Now let's get rid of these bags out of my eyes. I'm exhausted today, guys, and it is really shining through under my eyes. I probably should have done an eye mask before this. Okay, my Holy Bibles of concealers is NARS again. I also have tried lately the Tarte. I've used it all. It's called the Shape Tape. Really liked that. It's got a bigger head. So it just kind of means that we're going to get more coverage. So I do things, this is contouring. So I do things like contour my jaw. It's nice to have a couple of different tone options. So this one is medium honey. And then I'm going to take the NARS and put it in places that I need it a little bit lighter. So under your eyes, I think people use a lot of product under their eyes. I just put a little triangle because I want it to run along the side of my nose and I want it to run under my eye. And we're going to use the Beauty Blender again, and it's going to get more out of the product, I guess, so we don't need as much. So just like this. Now, brows. We are going to run along our brow line because it's going to define our brows and give us that really nice contoured brow look. Okay. And don't be afraid, I'm going to give you guys a hot tip, which really changed up my game. I have quite a large forehead, which I get called out all the time for on social media. If you were to have a smaller forehead like Kylie Jenner, you would want more light in here to really open up the brow space. I don't necessarily want that. I have quite a heavy brow, but I do want to open up my eye space. So we're going to come into the jaw. Just start dabbing, guys. This takes a little bit longer, this part, than the original foundation. And we're just going to do it super soft, super gentle. No one's in a rush. And we're just going to start blending our products together. Take some time. You know, I used to rush through this and not blend properly or just rush the blending. And it's nice to just have a little bit more time. You can see the color change starting to come through there, which is okay, now we're going to go and do the brow. Take your time with this. Like I said, depending on your forehead size, depends on how much you're going to want to blend this. I blend it a little bit here, but my brows, I want to go very slow. And just remember, guys, as you leave the concealer on for longer, it's going to get a little bit cakier, a little bit dry, a bit tackier. And it's going to be a little bit harder to smudge. That's why I kind of work from the jaw up. Sometimes I'll start at my eyes because I really like that to be well blended. But above my brow, I like it to be quite highlighted because it gives it that great arch once we add pencil and things onto it. Cool. I'm pretty happy with that. Like I said, guys, you can kind of see it now. It's starting to shape up to be more of my skin tone color. That's why I don't really freak out. The best advice I can give to you guys with makeup is go into Mecca or Sephora or Maya, whatever you guys prefer, and just get them to swatch on your face. So they will sit there and they will even give you a tester. Ask for a tester, see how the product reacts on your skin if you're trying something new. Yeah, foundation's expensive, you know, like some foundations, some things like $100 a bottle. Why would you waste that to get it home to find out when it sets on your skin it goes cakey and powdery? And I've made that mistake, so I'm trying to avoid you guys making it. All right, what is up next? Let's go in with powder. My Bible powder, which I haven't switched up for a while now, is Huda Beauty. This one is called Pound Cake. I like this one because it's a little bit paler. I put it under my eyes, sets my jawbone. Another really great one is Banana Bread for slightly more yellow toned skin. I used to use it and it just made my makeup look a little bit off because I don't have a yellow undertone. Cool. All right, let's do this. So for my powder, I have a gold brush. I actually don't know where I got this from, but I just give it a little tap, get the product into the lid. You don't need much, guys. What I'm about to do, I should explain, isn't for everyone. I will tell you the products that I found that have helped me do baking. Some people don't like it. They think it can look quite cakey. So essentially what baking is kind of like baking a cake. When we tap on powder, it's going to heat up the makeup underneath. So I set this under my eye like this, right up into the corner. and we're going to leave it on for a little while. I also set my nose and my jawbone. So I will do my jawbone after I do my bronzer. I come back in and do it because it gives that really defined contour cut. So, okay. So it's not quite rubbed in yet, which is fine. As you can see, it is, I've really pushed the product out. I don't want it too much on my face. It is baking under there, and we will come back and wipe it off. What I'm going to do next is set up a primer for my eyeshadow. Now, guys, eyeshadow, sometimes I don't set it. I don't put a primer on. I find some products react different, so it's all trial and error. Sometimes eyeshadows go better when there's a moist base, things like glitters, stuff like that, but I'm going to do it today because I'm using a mattified look. So we're gonna take concealer. If you want a great product for base, I really like Ochre by MAC. I think it's great. So all we're gonna come in and do here on the lid is apply the concealer. And then I'm going to take my finger. I think it just gives it a bit more control. And I'm going to apply the product this way. I like to get into the corners of my eyes as well, because you really want, well, I do anyway, I like a really bright eye in the corner. I suffer from bags under my eyes, as I said at the start of the video. So just putting some concealer in the corner is going to brighten up our look and just make our eyes look a little bit more open during the day. I'm going to take my beauty blender now and just finish. Cool. And then same sort of thing, but instead I'm going to go in with a smaller brush. I feel really bad. I can't remember where I got this from. It's definitely a Mecca brush. Mecca have these. Sorry, they're in Mecca. Now, we're just going to take a little bit of the same powder and press it into the lid. And there you go, guys. You've basically got a mattified eyeshadow primer without having to get added products. Okay, so you can kind of see that happening. If you make a mistake, this is one of my favorite brushes. Again, it's from Sephora. I think it is, I'm going to get it wrong. I feel like I'm going to say, I'm going to have to check it. I'll put it in the comments below. So we're just going to blend this out. Blending is everything, guys. Do not forget to blend. You can always tell when a girl hasn't blended her makeup. So I'm going to come in, just blend it along, because we really don't want to have too much of a line, especially because we've used the liquid underneath. So that's a really important part with blending. Okay, guys. Now, continuing on with contouring, again, I'm going to do the powder. I have quite a small nose. I don't need to over contour it, but knowing how to contour your nose, especially if you have a larger nose, is quite important. So we are just going to come down, because we have light in the nose, we're just going to come down here. Just lightly, just one line. That's it. That's all we're getting crazy on the nose. And it just makes the nose stick out a little bit in photos. I go between the two brushes, sorry guys. This one's quite good because it's just like a curved end. So it's really nice. I use it for the next bronzer. There you go, and you just kind of see it started shaping my nose a little bit. It does thin it as well. I don't really need it thinned, but I just like the way a darker shadowed nose looks. But if you do it wrong, people will notice. Now, taking the same bronzer, we're going to go very light. This is great for those of you that have a larger forehead. I'm going to put it in. I go the next step and I bronzer up here as well. But that's a lot. But I have a large forehead. Cool. There we go. So as you guys will probably still notice, I still have a little bit of the powder under my eye. I'm just going to come in with a large brush, a large powder brush. Just sweep it off under my face now. And then because we've finished the bronzer contour, I'm now going to bake my jawbone and just set off what I've done. So that same powder before, guys, just the Huda Beauty in the lid. Just like that. I'm going to leave my powder beard on while we finish the rest of the bronzer. So, brush. Grabbing the MAC, we are going to come in and just go over this bronzer a little bit, but a little bit higher up, just like that. Okay, let's blush this bad boy up. I am going to use NARS. If you can't tell, I have a favorite brand, and this one is called Tarte. So it's just a lighter pink, little bit of blush. I'm really not a big blush person. You might be. Blow all your product out. You only want like a little minuscule bit on your brush. And I'm just going to smile and then lose it and just here. Just softly. Don't go too close to your eyes. We've still got to add highlighter, and we really want to keep the eye area quite light and open. Now, the next thing I am going to do is brush off the powder, obviously, under my jaw. As you can see, that's just given it such a nice contour on my cheeks. I'm gonna just blend in here a little bit more. That looked a bit funny. So I'm doing this on a phone. Cool. Next brush that we are using, I'm pretty sure I got from Sephora. It's just a thin fan brush, amazing for highlighters. Also, another tip, you might like to use a little bit of liquid highlighter. I don't. I'm all for powder. Fenty Beauty has been my favorite. This one is the twin thing. Feel free to watch how much highlighter I've used, but they are Afternoon Snack and Mohani. I love them. Let's just swatch this bad boy. So I love these so much. I think the color, I just haven't seen a highlighter like it. Just love it. I'm going to mix the two just in the tip of my brush. Highlighter, I don't use sparingly. Now, there's a few places we're going to want to put it. We want to put it up the middle of our nose. Quite lightly. Second place I put it is the top of my lip, just in that Cupid's bow. It makes our lips look a little bit more kissable and just creates a 3D effect. I know it looks a bit funny, it's on my lip, but I am going to take that off before I put a gloss on. And then obviously on the cheeks, for a long time I used to put highlighter all the way down here. I really regret that, looking back in past photos. We just want to have it up on our cheekbone, which starts about here near the eye. Cool. And then a little bit on the chin. Not much, just what's left on the brush. Cool, there you go. I really love how this is coming out. It's nice and dewy. But yeah, it's good. It's nice and blended. Okay guys, eyes. Everyone always asks me about my eye makeup. I'm going to give you my dirty little secrets. My brushes. My brushes come in all shapes and sizes. They are used for many different things. And I think, honestly, the trick to being a good makeup artist is to have an array of brushes. Feel free to judge me on how I treat my makeup, because I'm not very kind to it. My poor palettes have taken quite a few falls. I'm really liking this one. It is the Urban Decay Born to Run. I'm definitely going to incorporate that today. I always end up coming back to this. I'm Resi, we love you. I love this palette, guys. Like, it's trashed, but the glitters and stuff in it, and even the mattes, I love this palette. And the final one is Too Faced, and it is called Natural Love. And another palette that I have used to blend all over the world, but it's got great bases in it and really great highlights for under the brow. My video cut out. I didn't even notice. So I've been talking away. I've done 2 steps in my eyeshadow routine, so I'm just going to quickly go over them. I'm taking Weekender from the Urban Decay palette. I'm using a wide brush because it's just kind of going to look like the powder that we set the brow with, but it's just got a bit of highlighter, and we really want to put that all over the brow, all over the lid. Now we're going to take the wider crease brush. It's number 9 from Sephora. I'm going to switch up palettes. I'm going to swap to the Emeraldy by Anastasia Beverly Hills. I'm going to take the color OG, this one. Just put a little bit on the end of the brush. The first time you guys do crease, it's a little bit harder. So we're just going to use quite a soft hand and follow our crease along our eye. So it just kind of naturally curves. Soft hands, guys, because see, here's where my hand's going harder. There's where it's lighter. I'm just going to keep going back and forth quite softly and build up the crease. If you guys feel like you've gone too dark in the crease, just grab a blending brush and come back in and start working it with that. It's got no product on it, and it's just going to blur it a little bit. Blending's quite important anyway, so you can see the difference. It's amazing. I'm really simple with my brow products. I still use Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow Pomade, Bible product. I've switched up the brush. I can't remember where this is from. I think it's from Mecca. So get the spoolie end, and we're going to brush our brows upwards and tidy them at the end. And again on this side. Just like that. Just get the product out of them. Now we are going to take an Incy Bins out of the Dip Brow Pomade. The shade I use is dark brown. Now, brow shaping. I normally have my eyebrows tattooed, so it's been really hard not to go and get them touched up. I start at around my crease, right? If you make a mistake, feel free to just do it like that. Now, I come out a little bit, but most of the product we want to be centered down the middle. Super light hand, guys. Just follow your natural brow curve. Just like that. And I actually leave majority of the front brow bare. I will blend it a little bit more, but like that. That's the natural hair. And now I'm going to do the same to the other side. Still kind of natural. Hourglass. It is just their baby brush comb. I like the smaller one for this, and we're just going to brush the front of our brows up and around. And I think that just gives it a really good look. It's kind of like a laminated brow a little bit. Just like that. So simple, so easy. Yeah, they're a little bit thicker than I'd normally do them because I was trying to do them in a camera and a mirror, but they work. Okay, next up, I'm going to finish the look with 2 more steps. I'm going to highlight under my brow. I'm going to take the Too Faced palette. My Bible product in here is called Satin Sheets. You can see how much I've used of it. Just taking the smallest bit, and I'm just going to come up into my brow. You might not even want to do that for a day look. I quite like it. But I think it just opens up that bit a little bit more. It's like that. See, it's such a different look. I love highlight, in case you can't guess. Cool. Final step. Feel free to blend this in. We love blending. How many times do you reckon I've said blending in this video? About as many times as I said strong, powerful woman in maths. Cool. That is such an easy go-to day look. I've got false lashes on. You might want to add to it. the final thing I'm going to do is the Jeffree Star Cross Morphe is more of a refreshing setting spray. I'm really liking it. It smells really good too. So it is really great for when you've got like powder and things that crease in your eyes during the day. Just a gentle mist over the face, and it kind of just really freshens it up, makes it even dewier, and I'm finding it's doing quite a nice job at moving the powder on my face. So really happy with that. Cool.